Hi, I'm Lisa, and I was diagnosed with Adenoid Cystic Carcinoma in April 2011. It's now February 2012. In that time, I've had 3 major operations. My first operation was for the first tumour in my face and neck. It was 12 centimetres by 7 centimetres. They took that out along with my jaw and part of the temple bone. So now I have a titanium jaw joint. The second operation was to remove the tumour in my lymph node. So that happened quite recently. I've got 1 tumour in my cavernous sinus underneath my brain. I've got another one in my middle ear. I've got another one in my temporal bone, and I've got several in my lungs. The ones in my lungs we've just found out have gotten bigger again, and there's more of them. The one in my middle ear I got operated on, but not all of it came out, so that's come back down into my ear. So at the moment I can't hear out of my right ear. The one in my temporal bone is just staying there doing nothing. I had stereotactic radiotherapy on the one underneath my brain, and that seemed to help reduce the size. I've also just come back from China, and I tried a light treatment over there, and that went for 8 days. So I went over with my mum, and we came back, and I got quite sick while I was in China, so I didn't have a very good time. Then we've come back and found out that it didn't exactly work for me, so now we're looking at other stuff. The surgeons and all the Western medicine people have told me there's nothing else that they can do for me. So we have to explore other alternative treatments and alternative therapies. So right now I'm considering trying vitamin C injections. But other than that, I just have to research, because no one's really helping me right now. No one's saying what I should do or what they would do in my situation or anything like that. So just have to make some decisions about what's best for me, I guess. Okay, so I was having pain in the back of my jaw and really deep in my ear. And that lasted quite a while. I was a bit stubborn and didn't go get it checked out and thought it would go away, but then it got worse and worse. So 6 months later, I went to the normal GP, and he told me it was temporal mandibular joint syndrome and told me I'd have to go to the dentist. So I wasn't going to the dentist because I don't like dentists. And then waited an extra 2 months, but then it got so painful that I couldn't lay on that side of my face. My face would go numb on that side, and it just caused a lot of pain. I couldn't touch it, couldn't eat properly, do anything. So I went to my mum and told her to book me in with her surgeon. Like, I needed to see someone because it felt really deep in my ear or really far back in my jaw, and he's an ear, nose and throat surgeon, so I thought he would be someone good to go see. I went and saw him, and then he felt the lump because you could see it on the side of my face, and he sent me straight over for a CT scan. So I went over for the CT scan, and then the next day coming back from uni, I got a phone call from my mum saying to come in to her work, and then I hung up from her and I figured, okay, they must have the results. You know, if she's telling me to come in, that means they're not good. And for some reason, I straight away thought tumour. I don't know why, but that's what I thought. And then eventually I got there, and my mum had tears in her eyes, and the doctor came out and he told me to sit down, and he had tears in his eyes, obviously, because he was close with my mum. And then he told me it was a tumour, and on the way in the car, on the way over there, I was already thinking, well, if it is a tumour, straight away I'm going to be strong. That's it. That's how I'm going to deal with it. That's what I'm going to be. So no matter what they say, put a brave face on, smile, and just, you know. So he told me, and that's exactly what I smiled when he told me, because I was kind of expecting it, and Mum was already upset. So I was like, okay, well, she's upset. I can't be upset. And after that, I went and told my boyfriend, and then had to go home and tell my dad. And telling my dad was the scariest part, because his brother died of cancer. At this point, we didn't know that it was cancer. We just knew it was a tumour. But came home, and Mum had already told Dad, and he was crying. And that's pretty much, from then on, I was like, I can't cry about this. I can't be upset. I can't, like, because obviously I'm going to have to be the strong one, because everyone else isn't being like that right now. So then the next 2 weeks was full of doctor's appointments, scans, meeting all these different people, plastic surgeons, everyone, meeting all these people. And surgery was booked in for 2 weeks. So as soon as we found out, surgery was booked in. I was very, very scared before the first surgery, because they told me there was an 80% chance I'd lose the facial nerve on this side, so half my face would be paralysed. So that was my biggest fear, because I was actually thinking about my modelling and thinking, how am I going to do that ever again? How am I going to smile? Like, my thing is smiling. That's what I do, and I wasn't going to be able to do that. So that made me really upset. And I remember crying heaps after I said goodbye to my parents, before I went into the operating room. The anaesthetist came up to put the needle in, and I just started bawling my eyes out. And I remember begging the anaesthetist and the surgeon, just saying, please save my facial nerve. Yeah. So that was really hard that day. Then after all this stuff had happened, we went for a meeting with my surgeon, and we went into there, and he was there with another surgeon and the head of some other department. And he told me that there was nothing else they could do, and he told me that all the tumours had gotten bigger, and it was going to significantly change my lifespan. And I said to him, like, so what does that mean exactly? Like, how long are we talking? And he was like, oh, I can't say, I can't tell you. And I said, well, you know, like, how long does that make it? Like, I already knew that it wasn't going to be long because of the ones in the lungs. But now, because they'd gotten so much bigger, so much quicker than what they were expecting, he said a maximum of 2 to 3 years. And I wasn't expecting that at all. Like, when we first found out about this kind of cancer, we were thinking, you know, 10, 15 years, maybe I'll get that. And I was fine with that. But then when he said 2 to 3, I was very, very much not expecting that to come out of his mouth. My dad and my mum were there with me when we heard that, and I felt terrible for them. Nobody wants their child to go before they do, and I still do, I guess. I feel terrible for my parents. I hate what's happening for them. But yeah, I don't know. There's nothing we can do. I've just got to suck it up and put a brave face in front of them so they're okay. And my poor boyfriend, he's already told me he's going to stick around, and no matter what. So hopefully I can get married. I found out I can't have kids because it's not fair. We don't know how much longer I've got, so can't have kids. At the moment, I don't know what to do with my life, which is the most frustrating part, because I don't know, I can't finish studying my course because there's possibly no point. Like, I don't know whether to go and get a job. I don't know whether I'll be able to do it, whether I'll get too tired, or who's going to hire someone that, you know, might not be able to come in one day and say the night before, I've got to go into hospital tomorrow, you know, because you don't know. So right now it's that's my biggest frustration, is trying to figure out what to do with my life when I don't know what to plan for, or how long to plan for, or anything like that. Pretty much to everyone, it's a choice to be happy. If you want to be happy, you have to make yourself happy. Like, you've got two options. If you're sad, like, you can be sad or you can be happy, and like, which one are you going to choose, you know? If you want to be rich, if you want to be successful, you're the only one that can do it. Like, no one else is going to do it for you. If you believe you can, just do it. And don't waste any time at all. Like, happiness and smiling and love are the most important things in the world. Love the people around you. Smile to them, and your smile can be passed on to everyone else. It's a chain reaction. You smile at someone, they'll smile at someone else, and then they'll smile at someone else. And it's just, you have to be happy. There's no other option for me. You have to, no matter what's happening. Like, yeah.
What's going on today?
My friend Terence, the photographer, has organised a fundraiser for me, because, as you may know, cancer treatment is very expensive. So there's cars, there's motorbikes, there's models, photographers, makeup artists. They've all come down to get photos done, and it's all to raise money for my cause and looking for treatment. And hopefully it will help for whatever treatment I can or can't do, or it will help, because it's just so expensive. I wouldn't be able to do it without the fundraising. It amazes me. The last fundraiser I had and this fundraiser, it amazes me every time at people's generosity and people's, just like, I don't know half the people that are here today, and they're all here for me. It's very, very touching. I don't know, and just to know that I've been able to influence all these people's lives in some way, to hopefully help them in some way, or I've been able to do something for them, and that's the best part. Like, that's what makes me happy.
That was beautiful.